Here we go again. We've got the measures of the angles of a triangle are in the ratio, there's that word, of 2 to 2 to 5. What type of triangle is it? Now, in this case, it is not actually asking us to find out the smallest or the biggest. It's just trying to tell us that the measure of the angles are 2 to 2 to 5. Now, when you've got a ratio of something like 2 to 2, that normally means 2 of them are equal, and that fifth one is not equal. So actually you're trying to figure out which triangle has 2 equal angles. The answer to that, isosceles, and you're done. Okay, the diagram below shows 2 intersecting lines. Which of the following statements about the measure of the angles must be true? The first one is D plus E equals 180. That would only be true if D and E are actually supplementary, i.e. on the same line. If I look at D and E, they are in fact on the same line, which means D plus E does in fact equal 180. This one is true, which means the answer cannot be A, because I know I is true, but it could be B, C, and D. Again, I'm eliminating an answer. This next question says E equals C. Well, E and C, you should notice, are on crisscrossed lines, nice, pretty extended lines. That makes them vertical angles. Vertical angles are, in fact, congruent, which means E does equal C. That means it's no longer B an option, and it can't be C because, again, I know 2 is true, which means just by process of elimination, without even checking statement 3, I know my answer is D. All 3 are true. Now, if you wanted to know whether or not all 3 are true, you just take a little bit of math. First of all, 2D equals E. First, we need to figure out what D is. D is a vertical angle with 60, so that means the measure of D is 60 degrees. E and D, as we've already established, are supplementary, equals 180. D is 60, which means if I subtract 60 from both sides, E is 120. So the question becomes, is twice D equal to E, which means it's 2 times 60 equal to 120. And you should see it's true, which actually makes all 3 statements true. Okay, this next question. 2 angles in quadrilateral ABCD have their measures indicated. The other 2 angles show variable expressions. What is X? Okay, couple of things. One, none of these angles look even remotely equal. There's nothing I can make them that'll say those are equal. So what I have to think of is, well, do I know how many degrees are in a quadrilateral? The sum of the angles in any shape can be found using the following formula, 180 times n minus 2. That's kind of your secret, okay? I have a 4-sided figure here, okay? N is your number of sides. So I have a 4-sided figure here, which means I'm going to say 4 minus 2, which means 180 times 2, and that is 360. That means the sum of this angle, this angle, this angle, and this angle, just because it is a 4-sided shape, all of these add up to 360. Now I can use that to solve. X plus 180, plus 80, I'm sorry, plus 90, plus 2x minus 20. Now you can put these in any order, it's just how I'm seeing them, equals 360. From here, combine the terms. X, 2x is 3x. 80 plus 90 is 170, minus 20 is 150. Then solve for x. Subtract 150. 3x equals 210. And divide. x is 70. So a little bit of geometry, lots of algebra, and I'm done with that question. Now, here we go. Find the angle sum of any polygon with 10 sides. Just taught you that formula. It's 180 times n minus 2. 10 sides, that's n, which means it's 180 times 10 minus 2, which is 180 times 8. Then grab yourself your calculator, and it is 180 times 8, which is 1440. And so the angle sum of any polygon with 10 sides is 1440. All right, let's look at 5, and this looks a little small, so let me kind of make it a little bigger for us. It looks a little better. There we go. Okay. M is parallel to N. Okay. Switch back to pen. There we go. Okay. Angle 1 is 40 degrees. Angle 2 is 2x plus 10. Find x. Now, I call these the Z problems. Z has two parallel lines on the top and the bottom. Then it has these two little angles. The nice thing about Z angles is that they're called alternate interior angles, and they're congruent. Now, it works if the Z is backwards as well. Those are also congruent. It also works for the letter N. Those are congruent. And the backwards letter N. These are congruent. Okay? You should be able to tell right here, 1 to 2 to down here, there's a letter Z, him and him. Okay? That would mean angle 1 equals angle 2. Angle 1 is 40 degrees. Angle 2 is 2x plus 10. Now it's algebra. Solve for x. Subtract 10, 30, and divide. A. Done. Okay? Remember, don't make the problems any harder than they are. Most of the time, it's just algebra. Okay. Next. There we go again. This is the ratio problem. Ratio of the angles are 3, 4, 5. Find the measure of the smallest angle of the triangle. Now, it's important that you know that a triangle is 180 degrees. If you did not know that, you could use our formula that we've been going over. 180 times n minus 2. A triangle is 3 sides, which means it's 180 times 1, which is, in fact, 180 degrees. So again, can't remember it? Use your formula. You have to know that formula for the test. Okay, and again, with the ratio problem, you add up the pieces of your ratio, which in this case is 12. That means you have 12 pieces. I take 180 and I divide by 12. That is 15. Okay. Now, I want the smallest. The smallest in the ratio is 3, so I'm going to take my 15, multiply by what I want. I get 45, and the answer is C, and I'm done. Okay, I have one last question for you today. Find the measure of each angle of a regular octagon. First of all, octagon, that's an 8-sided shape. Okay, and measure normally means I'm using my trusty new formula. So I take 180 times n minus 2, which is 180 times 8 minus 2, which is 6. Go to the calculator one more time. Okay, that's 1080. Now, you might think I'm done. There's the answer. It's 1080. However, it says each angle, each one. Now, regular octagon or regular anything is the only one that you know the measures of each angle. And it's regular because it means all the angles are equal. 8 sides means there's 8 angles. If I want to know what 8 equal angles are, I'm going to divide by 8. So I go back to my calculator, I divide by 8, and it's 135. Okay, that concludes my video for the day. Good luck tomorrow. Remember, get plenty of sleep, make sure you eat, don't worry, skip it if you need to. Okay? All right.